Welcome you all in my class. Today I am going to take the topic basic skeleton of Java programming. This is a basic skeleton of Java programming. You see there is a class Amity_university and there is a one method that is public static void main and system.out.println AIT. If you write this code, it will going to print in console AIIT. So basically this is you can say this is a basic skeleton of Java programming language. So please note that in this code there is at least one class, that Amity_university, and there is one method, that is main method, should be present in basic skeleton of Java programming. Now in this code, if you see, there is a class and then you have to write Amity_university. Now please keep in your mind, in Java programming language there must be a class and there must be a one method that is called main method. So what is Amity_university? Basically it is called a name of the class. Then what is public? Now I am going to discuss about what is public, what is static, what is void, what is main. So each and everything has meaning in Java. Please remember, Java is very logically developed, and whenever you go through each and every point of Java, it will you will like it very much how this concept is developed in Java. Now you cannot write main method, only main method, how you have used to write in C and C programming languages. So before going to details of public static void main, I would like to tell you, here I am using that is main method. Basically C and C++ programming, what we are using it function, the same thing, the meaning is here method. So this is the convention of calling function in Java as a method. Now what is public? For time being, you just remember all this topic. So I'll discuss later on my lectures also in detail of each and everything. Now what is public? Public is an access specifier. So in Java there is a different access specifier available: public, private, protected, and default. Default means it is also called friendly, but please remember, friendly is not a keyword. Default, by default it is, there is another access specifier option is there, that is called default in Java. So in Java there is a different access specifier: public, private, protected, default. So when I will discuss access specifier later in my lecture, I will discuss it in detail. But for time being, you just remember public is called a access specifier. Then static. What is static? Static is access modifier. In Java there are also many access modifier are there, that is native, synchronized, volatile, static, etc. etc. So there is a lot of access modifier is also there. Again I will discuss this later in my lectures, not in this lecture, later in my some other lectures. Access modifier. So for time being, remember, public is access specifier, static is access modifier. Then what is void? Void is nothing but a return type of the method. Now every method must have some return type. Every method must have some return type. So if the method does not return any value, then also there is a return type, that is called void. So void is a return type of the main method here. Then what is main? Main is the name of the method. So I repeat once again, public is access specifier, static is access modifier, void is return type of the method, and main is the name of the method. I told you in Java there must be at least one class and at least one method, and that method name should be the main method. Then within a main method argument, we are seeing that there is a two thing is written, string and args. So what is string? So string is nothing but a class. Please remember, string is nothing but a class. So in Java convention, in all library classes you will find the class name always start with a capital letter. If you find that class name is start with a capital, anything is start with a capital letter, then it is clear in Java that is a class. And method is always, inbuilt methods are always start with small character. Now string is a class. And what is args? ArcGIS is a dynamic array. Dynamic array means runtime array. That means in runtime you can assign some value to this array. So altogether string ArcGIS is called command line argument. So for timing, you just remember command line argument. At the practical time, I will show you how to pass the argument or how to pass the value to ArcGIS dynamic array. So this is all about this first line, public static void main. I repeat once again, public is access specifier, static is access modifier, void is return type of the method, main is the name of the method, and string ArcGIS is a command line argument. Then I am coming to the next line, that is a system.out.println. This will nothing. System.out.println is a mechanism which will going to print in the console or the monitor, that is AIIT. So in C you are using printf function to print AIIT. So here we are going to use the println method to print AIIT. Then what is system? What is out? So system is a class. System is a class. Again you see, like string start with a capital S because string is a class. System is also a class. How could you understand? Because there is a capital S. So system is a class. And what is out then? Out is a object. And what is println? Println is a method. So please make sure system is a class, out is an object, but please remember out is a not object of system class. Please make sure out is a not object of system class, and println is a method. So what is system then what is out of out is a which class object? Out is basically object of printstream class, which is, so out is an object of printstream class which is static declared in system class. So I'll discuss later on in all this how it will be working, basically system.out.println later on in my sessions. So please for timing, you just remember that basic skeleton of this Java programming is there must be one class and there must be at least one method. The name of the method is a main method, and there must be one statement which is going to print something in the console. System.out.println. Println is a method and it will going to print AIT in the monitor. So this is a basic skeleton of Java programming language. Now point to be remembered. Now till now what are the things we have discussed? From that we have to remember Java program must have at least one class and one method, and the name of the method is main method. That is the reason Java is purely object-oriented programming language. Why Java is called purely object-oriented programming language? As you remember, in C and C++, you can use main method only. You can use, that means you can use write only main function in your program and you can run the program. But in Java, you cannot write main method without any class. That means main method should be within a class. So without class, you cannot write a single line of code in Java. That is the reason Java is purely object-oriented programming language. So what are the basic features of object-oriented programming language? Now object-oriented programming language's basic features are class and object, encapsulation, abstraction, then polymorphism and inheritance. So what is class basically? Class is a collection of object is called class. It is logical entity. A class can also be defined as a blueprint from which you can create an individual object. Class does not consume any space. So what is object then? Any entity that has state and behavior is known as an object. For example, a chair, pen, table, keyboard, bike, etc. It can be physical or logical. An object can be defined as an instance of a class. An object contains an address and takes up some space in memory. Objects can communicate without knowing the details of each other's data or code. The only necessary thing is the type of message accepted and the type of response returns by the object. For example, we can say A dog is an object because it has state like color, name, breed, etc. as well as behaviors like wagging the tail, barking, eating, etc. So this is called object and class. Now then, encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but a binding or wrapping code and data together into a single unit are known as encapsulation. For example, a capsule, it is wrapped with different medicines. A Java class is the example of encapsulation. Then abstraction. So what is abstraction? Abstraction is hiding internal details and showing functionality is known as abstraction. For example, phone call. We do not know the internal processing of phone call. In Java, we use abstract class and interface to achieve abstraction. And then polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism if one take is performed in different ways. If one task, please remember, if one task is performed in different ways, it is known as polymorphism. For example, to convince the to convince the customer differently to draw something. For example, shape, triangle, rectangle, etc. In Java, we use method overloading and method overriding to achieve polymorphism. I would like to give you one more example of polymorphism. That means the same thing can be represented in different way is called the polymorphism. So if you write 1 plus 3, so it will become 5. 1 plus 3, it will become 4. So in that scenario, that plus is acting as an addition operator. That means it is an operator which will do adding between 1 and 3 and it will produce 4. But if you write Amity plus university, then it will concatenate. It will not going to, basically that plus symbol here in it, whenever you plus is applying in a string, then it will going to do concatenation. So here Amity and university will be concatenated by the operator plus. So plus is representing in different way, in different form. And then inheritance. When one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object, it is known as inheritance. It provides code reusability. It is used to achieve runtime polymorphism. So these are the basically fundamental, or the you can say is a basic concept of object oriented programming language. Till now, we have discussed the basic skeleton of Java programming language and the basic features of OOP means object oriented programming language. Now we are very important thing we are going to discuss about features of Java. The primary objective of Java programming language creation was to make it portable, simple and secure programming language. Apart from these, there are also some excellent features which play an important role in the popularity of Java language, of this language, that means Java language. Now you can see there is a 12 very important features of Java are listed, that is object oriented, simple, secured, platform independent, robust, portable, architecture neutral, dynamic, interpreted, high performance, multi-threaded and distributed. Now first is object oriented. Java is an object-oriented programming language. Everything in Java is an object. Object-oriented means we organize our software as a combination of different types of object that incorporates both data and behavior. Object-oriented programming, or OOPS, is a methodology that simplifies software development and maintenance by providing some rules. Next one is simple. Java is very easy to learn and its syntax is simple, clean and easy to understand. That is a very important features of Java. Then another important features of Java is Java is called secured software language. Java is best known for its security. With Java, we can develop wide as free system. Java is secured because no explicit pointer is used in Java. Java programs run inside a virtual machine sandbox. Then platform independent. Java is platform independent because it is different from other languages like C, C++, etc., which are compiled into the platform specific machines, while Java is a write once, run anywhere language. A platform is a hardware or software environment in which a program runs. There are two types of platform, software based and hardware based. Java provides a software based platform. Then robust. Robust simply means strong. Java is robust because it uses strong memory management. There is lack of pointers that avoid security problems. There is automatic garbage collection in Java, which runs on Java virtual machine to get rid of objects which are not being used by Java applications anymore. There are exception handling and the type of checking mechanism in Java. All these points makes Java robust. Then portable. Java is portable because it facilitates you to carry the Java bytecode to any platform. It does not require any implementation. Then architecture neutral. Java is architecture neutral because there are no implementation dependent features. For example, the size or primitive types is fixed. Then dynamic. Dynamic means runtime. Java is dynamic language. It supports dynamic loading of class. That means runtime you can load a class when it is required. It means class are loaded on demand. It also supports functions from its native language, that is C and C++. Java supports dynamic compilation and automatic memory management, that is called garbage collection. Interpreted. Java is interpreted from bytecode, that is reason Java is machine independent. That is, this is a very powerful features of Java, and interpreter has been done from .class file. High performance. Java is faster than other traditional interpreted programming languages because Java bytecode is close to native code. Then multi-threaded. A thread is likely a separate program executing concurrently. We can write Java programs that deal with many tasks at once by defining multiple threads. The main advantage of multi-threaded is that doesn't occupy memory for each thread. It shares a common memory area. Threads are important for multimedia, web applications, etc. Then the last of features of Java is a very important feature. It is distributed. Java is distributed because it facilitates user to create distributed applications in Java. RMI and EGB are used for creating distributed applications. What is meaning of RMI? That is remote method invocation. And what is EGB? Enterprise Java Beans. That I'll discuss in later of my lectures. What is RMI and what is EGB? That means what is remote method invocations and what is enterprise Java Beans. These features, distributed features of Java, makes us able to access files by calling the methods from any machines on the internet. So this is all about Java features. So I hope I have cleared all your doubt, or you can say all your concepts of features of Java, the basic skeleton of Java, and then the basic fundamental features of object-oriented programming language. Thank you very much, and thank you for your patience hearing.